Hey, Darcy here with the Mind Sculpt Economics Boomer Bust. We brought in a second paint rack for Warhammer. So Warhammer 40K and Age of Sigmar have actually been really good for us, and we brought in a second paint rack for 3 reasons. 1, we genuinely want to build the Warhammer community. 2, we want to have something other people don't. We now have a full line of air paints, technical paints, edge paints, base paints, layer paints. We have 300 different paints. If you want to be in hobby painting, whether it's Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, or anything else, miniatures, we got the best selection, we got the different types, we got all sorts of brushes. You need brushes? We got the little ones and the big ones. Okay, so we want to support our community, we want to have things other people don't, and we want to be able to market. Now, the best marketing dollars we have, it's actually our rent money. The space that we have, our open doors, paying Jordan to be here on Sundays, being open from 1 to 6, having the ability for customers to come see what we're about, it's our absolute best marketing. We need open doors, we need a good space, and then we need our space to have attractive things. So if I have things that build community, I have things that other people don't in a 2-hour drive, and I have things that people are excited to see, that they think, oh, I might get into painting if there's 300 different paints available. If I can just primer my Blood Angels with Mephiston Red, and then all I have to do is hit the layers and maybe some texture and I'm done. Yeah, Warhammer sounds a little easier. These paints are going to be cool. I might use this myself. So if I can fill my space with pop items, wow items, imagine items. Imagine if I did take up Warhammer as a hobby. Imagine if I did paint a Blood Angel army. What if I did grab Mephiston Red as a spray paint? Well, that's what we're built on. We want to build community, we want to build space, but we want to show people that there's face-to-face, interactive ways to build friendships together. Mind Sculpt Games is not just about our product. It's about community. It's about our people, and it's about the relationships those people form in our community. So we brought in the paint rack. Another big change that we made is we became Asmodee's Stockist, and we now have even more board games, specific board games off the top 100 list for Asmodee sales, and we, as a stockist, we will keep those in stock. And if things go off their top 100 list, we will replace them with other things. Now that gives us a couple advantages, but it guarantees that we have one of the best board game companies and some of their best games. So we're going to have good stuff here, right? Okay, so we got the right stuff, we got the right space, but in this video, I'm actually going to tell you the secret sauce of Mind Sculpt Games growth. So this month is June. We turned 1 year old on June 2nd. In our first year of Mind Sculpt Games, we were in a space about half the size. We were on this guerrilla warfare marketing plan of basically Facebook only, word of mouth. And in June of year 2, in our second location, we hit our June sales of year 1 by June 10th. We are on path to have our best month ever. Large part of that is that we have great staff. We have Jordan working over here. He's great as a salesman. He's friendly. He's organic. He's part of the community. I do the ordering. I try to stay on top of numbers. When I'm in the shop, I try to make sure I build relationships with the customers. We use our social media for that. But today's Father's Day, and today I want to recognize the real special sauce of Mind Sculpt Games. Cognitive dissonance. Fancy word, right? So cognitive means brain, or mind, or thought patterns, and dissonance is the opposite of harmony. It is disharmony. Now, why does that make things successful? Okay, so Mind Sculpt Games has cognitive dissonance. Well, so does our government. So do leaders who make boardroom decisions. And my husband and I, he's a great father, it's Father's Day, this is a thank you to him, we have cognitive dissonance. Now, that means we have different personalities. We have different goals and skill sets. And we have a vision together that we create Mind Sculpt Games, we pay down our mortgage, we build our community, and we make something special for the people we interact with here. Okay, we share our stuff there. But how we approach it is very different. Now me, I like to make sure the numbers are going to match. I deal with Excel sheets, I run formulas, I try to tweak my formulas, I make buy prices, and this month, now we talk about our growth and hitting our sales number of last year by 10 days into the month, I spent more this month than any other month. Go figure, that's how business works, right? But there were multiple Magic releases, and I have never spent this much money in a month in my life. And when I crunch those numbers and when I go through those formulas, I do a lot of it on my own. And, well, you know, I haven't gone to business school. I've been into business for all of a year, and I'm spending lots of money. So my big girl pants are on, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I mean, I pretend to. I might know what I'm doing enough compared to what I did in the past and what I hope to do in the future, and what I can find in game store retailer groups for free advice shared on the internet. But the cognitive dissonance is my husband disagreeing with me, my husband questioning me, my husband making me think through my steps, and if we're being honest, sometimes saying, can you prove in an Excel sheet that you made a profit off this? And I'm like, what are you, Daniel, my professor on my PhD thesis? Yes, I made money. Can we move on? But those disagreements, that cognitive dissonance, it's what makes me better. Now, two people working can do X amount of work, right? And if they work together, well, they can work for more hours, but sometimes with teamwork, two people working together actually get more than 1 + 1. They get an exponent. They get some type of enhancement growth. They get some type of multiplier. And one of my friends who'd known us since college, she was part of my wedding. I'd seen her for the first time in a long time, a while ago, and she said, "You're a great team, you always have been." And I thought to myself, do you know how many arguments we've had since you last seen us? Well, that's why we're good teammates. Because we think enough alike, we respect each other enough, we love each other, and because we have a Christian marriage, we forgive each other's mistakes and forbear what happens, and we keep working together. That's the special sauce of Mind Sculpt Games. We got two people aligned to the same goal. We have them different enough, and we have them patient enough, forgiving enough, and goal-oriented enough to keep working through the disagreements and to aim the disagreements to make people better. That's why we get a multiplier. Now, my husband's strengths are very different than mine. You know, we both love Magic, and we were both, you know, top 8 finishers in multiple tournaments. Yeah, somewhat competitive players, but even the way we approach Magic is different. I'm a collector. Urza's Legacy foils, I opened packs when that was at the pre-release and pulled out a foil, and I have loved foils ever since. My husband could give a hoot about foils. My husband likes to play 4-hour Commander games. I'd rather do so many things besides play a 4-hour Commander game, but I'll draft with you. I love to draft. You know, I like Standard, but by the time we were playing Standard at those top 8 tournaments, we had some cognitive dissonance there too because we were trying to beat each other. When we have strengths, sometimes the strength that makes teamwork work is allowing cognitive dissonance to build us up. Daniel and I approach Magic differently. Magic is the lifeblood of our shop. We're just one of those stores. We have lots of product, but our #1 category every month is Magic Sealed. And when we talk about Magic Sealed, I do the numbers, I do the ordering. My husband looks at the standard metagame. He judges the community around here and what they might want out of it. So, he will sit at the tables and he will play with the guys. And I will work the counter, pull through cards, try to think, what's the best return on investment for my time right now? And that's how I approach it. And I look at the numbers, the numerics. How do I turn this dollar into $2? How do I turn this dollar into $1.50? How do I make it so that I have more money to work with next month? Well, part of that way is to use my husband's strengths. Daniel is a great community builder. Anybody that walks in this door and is interested in Magic, he'll sit down and teach them how to play. He'll talk to them about the game. Somebody comes in for the first time on a Friday Night Magic, he'll draft with them, next to them, talk to them about their draft. We've had people where he'll draft for them and then help them play through it. He can talk to them about Standard. He'll play in the Standard tournaments. And when one of his local players beats him in a Standard tournament, he feels a sense of pride. He acts like their coach or something sometimes. Do I want to sit and do that? I don't sit and do that. So what Daniel enables is a true sense of community. We pay rent for our tables, right? And we hope the people that sit at our tables help us pay the rent by shopping local. But Daniel also adds an element of, I taught you this game. I will play this game with you. I will be your friend and work through it with you, and help you learn and enjoy and connect you to other people. So not only is there this dollar sign that says we pay rent for these tables, but there's someone there that says I invest in you. I want to build you up, help you find friends, and enjoy a game that keeps you mentally sharp. And that is the secret sauce of our Magic success. Whether it's those top tier players in our community that are looking to move on to PPTQs, that are looking to win the store championship, or the player that's showing up with their wife and interested in maybe, is this game for us? Is this good? Or the player who's gone through a couple drafts and doesn't want to go 0-3 at the next one, so they ask for some tips. He fills all those needs and levels. Now, sometimes his wife thinks, Daniel, you are wasting our work hours. Daniel, if you're playing at the tables, how are you shipping orders? But that's where the cognitive dissonance makes us better. We don't have to serve the same roles. We don't have to play the same goals or aims, and he can do something that I can't. And I can do things that, maybe he can't. But we invest in different areas of strength to make our business better. The secret of Mind Sculpt Games hitting that much growth in 1 year, will we double what we made last June? And if we're real excited about our goals, maybe we 2.5 times it, maybe we triple it. Okay? But the reason that's happened is we got multiple brains, and sometimes they feel like they're working against each other, but they're working towards the same goal with different viewpoints and mutual respect. And that's why we're going to grow. I mean, that's why a marriage works. That's why God put a man and a woman together, because they're different, but together they can help raise children. Together they can make an impact on their community. Marriage, honestly, I heard on the radio the other day that the greatest ministry in your life is with your spouse. And I love Daniel. And sometimes I got to think that he's not just my tool, and I'm not just, the lady that's going to make him supper, but we are a team built together. And what we're meant for is to be in ways different. And in this business, we're different. But that difference adds to our mutual strengths. And that's a really impressive thing. So shout out to you, Daniel. You're a great dad. You're a wonderful husband. I hope you have an awesome Father's Day. But I want you to know that I think you're a good role model here, that you work very well in our business, and that your strengths are one of the main reasons that Mind Sculpt Games is on a path to growth. Happy Father's Day. Now, the other staff member that I haven't mentioned yet is my dad, Randy. And cognitive dissonance between me and my dad, he's really good at keeping his mouth shut and letting me do my thing and working hard to help me have a future where maybe we don't have to make a mortgage payment one day and my kids can sign up for camp or things like that. Like, my dad is the most giving person in my life. He works for me. He does the hard work, the grudging work, the thing that happens over and over again each day. My dad does that without complaint. Sometimes he does it with suggestions or, he will speak up. But what he does is he greases the wheels. He makes the wheels work. He makes them turn. And Daddy, you are an awesome, awesome worker. He's the friendliest guy in the building, goes out of his way to help anyone with anything. I've gotten mad at my dad once or twice because somebody will come in and say, I need this money today. I'm moving. Will you buy my magic cards? And my dad's, he can trade things in on a limited amount. He doesn't have full buying power, because he might get stuck with a fake or something, right? But in those situations, he's pulled money out of his own pocket, paid them, and then put the cards in our collection. So my dad's like giving away money and giving me the cards. So it's this double giveaway. And I kind of want to be mad at him for that. I'm like, Dad, that's not sustainable. Dad, that's not a system we can do. The customers might expect things that we can't uphold if they know they can go to you to get the nice stuff. But what he does, like, he makes cookies for the Pokemon Trainer Tuesdays. And then when a pre-release comes, the moms make cookies because they appreciate what he does for the kids in their life. And they share the cookies with us. And we have a community because my dad builds his work hours here, not on the numbers, not on an Excel sheet, not on how cool he can be with people, but how much he can build the community. And it's just really cool to see what the men in my life have done with Mind Sculpt Games. My dad is a tireless worker. He's got the work ethic of a man who served 20 years in the Air Force. And my ambitions and my dreams, in no way could I reach without him. He does the grindy things, and he does them well, and he improves on them each time. And you know, I'm just really glad to have the dad I do. And it's Father's Day, and Dad, shout out to you, but this business would not, I'd be nuts, crazy, angry, frustrated, all those sorts of things, and probably broke if it weren't for you helping me out with my business. So Mindsculpt Games is succeeding. We brought in a new paint rack. We have more board games. I have 500,000 Magic cards that I've been trying to get through. Like, we are primed to grow, and I'm trying to do it in a way that's sustainable, you know, small enough that it's little chunks at a time. It took a couple hours to set this up. Jordan was working on it for a while. It's still not 100% done. We got to make sure that we get the paints in that we were missing. Imperial Primer is no longer in print. There's more to do. And if we try to put too much on our plate at once, we hurt our growth. If we put manageable chunks in front of us that help us grow in ways that we can sustain, we build ourselves. But what really, really builds Mindsculpt games is, again, that fancy word, cognitive dissonance. It's the mutual respect that all our workers, and there's Gavin's helped us out, there's Dayton, there's Jordan, there's my dad, there's Daniel, and there's me. So there's 6 of us that have worked here. All of our workers having different strengths, different abilities, having a say in the business, and using that say to build towards the same goal from different perspectives. Having the mutual respect of, this is what we're doing, this is the reason we're doing it. We care about our community, we want to make sustainable income, and we're going to work towards that for the good of the people and for the sustainability of our families. And then we can bring in all sorts of different opinions and different backgrounds and, you know, different goals at times. Bring them to the table, sit down to our Saturday meetings, and talk through things and make sure everybody's up to date on the systems and make our business grow. We don't grow from one person's brain giving directions. We grow from multiple brains working independently at times, in teamwork at times, but with viewpoints that say, this is how I serve the community I'm connected to. This is how we serve the return on investment that I'm most invested in at this time. Mindsculpt Games is pretty lucky because what we've been able to do, we've been able to meld the minds. Our marriage has survived the first year as business owners in a family of business, and it's because we have that mutual respect, we have that love, and we honor the sacrament of marriage in a Christian family and a God-learned home, and we've forgiven each other, we've had those fights, and we've looked to Christian values and things like that, and that allows us to keep going, to forgive, to forget, to move forward, to honor our integrity, to stick towards our goals. All those things matter, and that's how it's worked. And it's still a struggle, it's still hard, it's always going to be that way. But we remember what's upstairs, and we keep working. Talk to you later.